Okay, we move on to the next instalment. What we're going to do now is just tighten everything up and ensure that our cells are re-protected again. So we're going to go back to our cell protection. Now we're also going to look at something called conditional formatting. So what we'll do is we'll go into our sales figures area. So we've got our setup where Sakai can update information. We've got our reports where we can see the breakdowns of all the different amounts that are being used. We might also be able to update this to say a dollar cost, but we do have dollars and percentages here, so I think the formatting is reasonable. And we'll our sales figures, and we've got a sales figures percentage area here, and our references tab shows a lot of the breakdowns of food cost details, haul hire details, and drink cost details that we probably don't need to know too much. You might need that if you're going out to do the purchasing. So you've got a little bit of information about the food cost. But other than that, it's a fairly stock standard spreadsheet. What we're looking to do though is just, as I say, go into the sales figures tab, highlight these values. I'm just going to show you what some conditional formatting can do. On the home menu, there's a styles section, and under there's conditional formatting. And what we can do is actually use a format called a data bar, and you can do a gradient fill or as you can see here, which shows you a bit of a visual on the percentages. So even if you are not looking at the reports tab, you can still get a bit of a visual on the percentages by seeing the values here. The total food cost is a large percentage of what's going on. Haul hire and band are a very small amount, and then you've got your free sake down below. So you can do a gradient fill or a solid fill. There are other options such as a colour scale, red being larger and green being smaller, or blue being smaller. Or you can do icon sets. There's a range of different icon sets that you can see there, but one that we're going to do today is just a simple data bar. And I think blue contrasts very nicely with the yellow. So if I click on that, this is a new rule, and if I happen to change any of the information, for example going into setup and changing the value for adult food from say $15 to $5, and then I click on my sales figures area, and you can see here that drinks is now a lot more expensive than food, and the event total has changed, that value has changed as well. So if I go back to the setup tab, I can then take that back to what it was, which is $15. Go back to the sales figures tab, and it changes the food cost value. It would also change obviously the percentages, and so you'd see a different breakdown here, but just in case you wanted to see that with the figures, you can also put in a graphical there. Other tightening up that we can do, well, we can add a little bit of bold to this area here for our reference sheet. We can bold this, we can go across here and merge and center and increase the size of where it says, reference sheet. Again, the Sakai Snacks setup, we can make it viewed to 100%. So we've got the Sakai Snacks value. And I would probably put reports to the actual behind the sales figures. I think the setup and the sales figures are the most important. Not that it really matters, because you'll be encouraging the use of the menu, but still useful. Final thing is just to add back in the protection of the worksheets. So if you click on Protect Sheet, we can add protection to this worksheet, and because we've previously allowed users to edit ranges, we'd still be allowed to edit the range. So if we click 20, that still works, but we wouldn't be able to edit this because it's read only. However, this only works for worksheets. Now we can protect the whole workbook with a password, which stops people from moving, deleting or adding sheets, but it's probably best to just go into each of these sheets that we can see, like the reports, and say we'll just protect the sheet with the same password, and that doesn't allow people to go in and mess with the sheet. And then you can click on the sales figures area, again protect the sheet, and the final one there, the references, and protect the sheet as well. So now we've got a lovely menu system that's working. We've got only specific cell values that can actually be updated, and we've got a solution for the customer, so they can look at the reports and get the information that they need in very quick time.